Hi guys, this is Sam and welcome to Logic. Today we have a pronunciation lesson on the terrible sound th, which can be pronounced as th or th. We will see how and when to produce it, some fun facts about how it behaves in some very special situations, and also how we can create it in complicated combinations with other consonants. So now, let's get started. As always, we have a pretty meaningless sentence to work on, and as an experiment, I would like you to pause the video, record yourself saying the sentence, and then compare your pronunciation to mine to see if they match. The sentence goes: Samantha thinks that Thomas thought that pathetic thin mother couldn't be bothered to breathe deep breaths through her mouth. Because of that, her death didn't occur by a hair's breadth. Then, without further ado, she went home and had 3 baths. The th sound is a fricative, meaning that it's created through the friction that we get when air flows through a tiny gap between 2 articulators getting very close to each other without actually touching. It's a dental sound, meaning that the articulators involved are the tongue going between your upper and lower teeth. So, in order to produce the th or th sound, we need to place our tongue between the teeth, leaving a tiny little gap between the upper teeth and the tongue, which is where the air will come out. Both th and th are pronounced exactly the same inside the mouth. The only difference is that th is voiceless, meaning that it has no vibration in your vocal cords, whereas th does. And you can test this by placing your hand on your throat. If you say th, you will feel absolutely nothing. If you say th, you will feel vibration. And now let's see how we can actually produce it. Let's start from the voiceless th. You want to place your tongue between your teeth, leaving a tiny little gap between your upper teeth and the tongue, and you want to blow air out. And the only place that you should feel it coming out is this gap at the top. Please don't bite your tongue like this. Otherwise, you will create a full obstruction and you will get a plosive sound and you will literally explode if you go like that. The voiced th is a little bit softer, and if you struggle to get the vibration going in your vocal cords, you can start from the sound z, where your tongue is inside the mouth like this and it vibrates, or you can choose any vowel sound because they all vibrate as well. For example, r, e, You can start from any of these sounds and then you can move the tongue into position for the th. So if we go from that should help. And th are phonemic, meaning that by changing them, we get a completely different meaning. Now, there aren't many words that actively change meaning by swapping th for th. A few examples are mouth to mouth, teeth to teeth, ether, either, loath to loathe. But mixing them up may still hinder the conversation. If you say mother instead of mother or think instead of think, I won't understand a different word, but it will take me an extra second to understand what you're talking about. I know that sticking your tongue out for this sound will make you feel stupid and embarrassed, but that's exactly how we speak. Not producing this sound correctly will hinder the conversation, and I can promise you the native speakers will not mock you because for us it's absolutely normal. A lot of people hate this sound because they say it's very difficult, but whilst I agree that it's physically very demanding because it requires a lot of movement inside your mouth, I will say that exactly because of that, it's actually much easier to control than other sounds because you can actively and physically see and feel the sound in your mouth. The sound is produced by sticking your tongue out, so if you don't, the sound will be scientifically wrong, and it's very easy for you to control the action of sticking your tongue out, so you can do it very easily. When I say that we need to stick our tongue out, it doesn't mean all the way. We don't say, it's just But if you come from a language that doesn't have this sound, your brain will automatically try to stop you from producing it. So we need to find ways to trick it into doing it correctly. Which is why only when you practice, as an exercise, I want you to exaggerate the sound and stick your tongue out more than needed. For example, this is only so that your brain and mouth get used to the idea, but then don't worry, when you speak, they will automatically adjust this excessive sound into an easier and more producible version of it. It's now time to do a little bit of theory of words that we will apply to TH a little bit later on. In every language, we have content words and function words. Content words are words that carry meaning. They are very important, and that's what your brain needs to hear to understand what's happening. They are nouns, adjectives, main verbs, and adverbs. Everything else is function words, which are not as important as content words as they only connect them grammatically. We have auxiliary verbs, determiners, pronouns, conjunctions, prepositions. Why is this important to us? There aren't many rules to decide whether TH needs to be pronounced as th or th, but all function words are pronounced as th, although, they, them, with the exception of with, that is pronounced as th, mainly in British, but also th, mainly in American, and through. We also use the voiced th for words ending in the, writhe, blithe, and verbs ending in the, teethe, bathe, clothe. There is a reason why these two categories are separate. But inside a word, there usually aren't any rules. Mother, brother, gather. The voiceless th is in initial position of a content word. Think, threat, thank. At the end of a content word, bath, cloth, tooth, truth. But for inside a word, we don't have rules. Author, method, mathematics. What's interesting to see is that some words change spelling and therefore pronunciation based on the part of speech that they are. If they are a noun or adjective, they end on a th, pronounced as th. If they are a verb, they end on a silent E, which transforms th into th. We go from teeth to teeth, bath, bathe, cloth, clothe. Let's have a look at some tricky combinations with the TH sound. The plural of month is months, and this is usually very hard for people to pronounce, as we simply need to attach a s to the original th. These are both voiceless sounds, and the tongue is between your teeth for the th and inside your mouth, trying to touch the alveolar ridge, meaning the part behind your top teeth, for the sound s. In order to practice this combination, I want you to hold and then very quickly bring the tip of your tongue behind your bottom teeth, almost touching the alveolar ridge without actually touching it. And I want you to focus on this gap created between the tongue tip and the alveolar ridge. And you will also notice that your jaw will pop up a little bit. So we're going When we speak, this movement is very fast, so instead of fully sticking your tongue out for the th sound, I want you to imagine that you are licking the bottom part of your upper teeth here very quickly, and then you move into a s. So we go th, 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 th. We say months, months, months. Careful, because a lot of people will cheat and remove the th altogether, but listen to the difference. Months, months. It's very clear to us, and we wouldn't normally understand that word. The same thing happens with z. I teethe, he teethes. The process is exactly the same as months, but we need to keep constant vibration. So in order to practice this sound, I want you to hold the and then move into a z, vz, vz, leaving a gap between the tip of your tongue and the alveolar ridge, focusing on keeping the vibration going at the same time. Then, when we speak, this is a very fast movement, so I want you to imagine that you are just licking the bottom edge of your upper teeth, and then you go straight into the position for the z. Vz, vz, vz. I teethe, he teethes, vz, vz. And this brings us to a very interesting behavior of th when it comes to plurals. The rule says that the plural of a singular word ending in th, pronounced as a voiceless th, can be a voiceless ths or vz. The voiceless ths is more typically American, whereas the voiced vz is more typically British, at least in standard RP English. The plural of bath is baths or baths. Truth becomes truths or truths. Specifically, the word path is usually used in its voiced version, path, paths. But if a singular word ends on a short vowel plus th pronounced as th, its plural is only the voiceless ths. Death, deaths. Breath, breaths. Cloth, cloths. When s or z come before th or th, we don't stick our tongue out as much as we normally would, but we only lick the bottom edge of our top teeth with our tongue. We don't say she's the best because that would slow us down. We say she's the best. He has them. She's thinking about it. He's threatening me. Alice thought about this. He hates this. There are very few exceptions where th is pronounced as a simple t. We have Thomas, Thames, time, Thailand, and potentially just a couple more. Th is pronounced as t, or sometimes with a glottal stop instead of t, in compound words. Adulthood is a combination of adult and hood, so we don't say adulthood, but adulthood. Knighthood, sweetheart. Now that you know all the tricks about th, let's go back to our original sentence. But before we do that, please make sure you check out my next pronunciation video, where I will be talking about all the mistakes that people make when pronouncing th, both as foreigners and as native speakers. The sentence goes, Samantha thinks that Thomas thought that that pathetic thin mother couldn't be bothered to breathe deep breaths through her mouth. Because of that, her death didn't occur by a hair's breadth. Then, without further ado, she went home and had 3 baths. And that's it for today. If you like this video, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up and to subscribe to my channel down below. And please do let me know in the comments if any of these tricks to pronounce th worked for you. And in the meantime, I will see you next week with my next video.